My Conversations, Feature 7, Stephen Gill on Writing. Topic is Poetry in 21st Century. Greetings from Stephen Gill. This is Feature 7 of My Conversations. This feature is about an interview with Koketso Marishane for United Minds for Peace. Koketso Marishane is a writer from Africa. This interview was included in a selection of Stephen Gill's interviews that was published by Orientalia in 2011. Stephen Gill's interviews was edited by Dr. Anuradha Sharma. These features express Stephen Gill's published views on the subject connected with writing and also with his own writing. The question is, you mentioned in feature 5 that the 20th century was the second renaissance for poetry. What do you see or think the 21st century will produce? My answer was that the renaissance of poetry will flower further in the 21st century because of the digital technology that has made it easier to bring out even unpalatable dishes to a much wider population. Some readers will admire these unpalatable dishes for one reason or the other. However, 21st century, as I believe, as I think, will not be able to produce many prominent poets. However, 21st century would certainly produce a number of poets. And in this jungle of numbers, it would be difficult to know who is worthy and who is not a worthy poet. Those who are aware of the tools of the digital technology, those shall win for a while, in spite of the fact that they are not good poets. This feast of festival of poetry will keep flourishing. But at the same time, there will be serious poets of passion who will keep working like others who have worked in every age and nation in the past. Some will be like the seeds that fall on the rocky land, and those seeds do not grow. Some seeds will fall under bushes or under rocks, and those bushes and rocks will not let them grow. But some will grow in the open air, and that open air is not much visited by visitors. It will take time, but eventually they will come to the attention of serious visitors after some time. Now coming back to this question that is about 21st century, if it would produce a good crop in the realm of literature. That was the question. The 21st century that has produced cyber age. This cyber age is going to produce immensely large and different kind of literature. I would like to concentrate on experiments because it will take time to express everything that the 21st century would produce. In every age, experiments have been done also by creative writers, creative artists. Some of these experiments are successful, and a large amount of these experiments have died in their early age. I have done some experiments in the domain of haiku also. In the writer's preface of my collection of haiku, which I call my haiku Trillium in Haiku Spirit. And I have titled collection of this Trillium in Haiku Spirit, I have titled this collection Flashes. And I write in my preface on page 8, most creative artists are not satisfied adhering to established norms, and it is because they want their work to be more unique. They want their work to be more personal. This applies to haiku writers as well. I expect my haiku, I expect my flashes to be read from this particular angle. Yet, I am not against established norm as long as they serve some useful purpose. Otherwise, if they don't use any useful purpose, it would become boring to follow the pointless practice of traveling again and again along the same beaten path. It is like trying to fly in a cage. I suggest that the introduction of new trends into an old system, that trend should be welcomed with open arms. We know stagnant water becomes a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Anything that becomes stale will soon start to stink. It is in the interest of its health to let haiku breathe in fresh air. No one should be afraid of change or experimentation. If haiku is alive today, it is largely due to its flexibility to allow new trends to be incorporated into it. I have done experiments also with the sonnets, and I am happy with these experiments with sonnets. Several professors of English literature have commented on my experiments with sonnets. I will talk about them and their comments in other features, somewhere else and places. But I will focus for a while on my experiment with epics. I will focus on my long epical poem, The Flame. Several research papers and also a complete literary studies was released by Prakash Books that was edited by Professor Dr. Sudhir K. Arora. This critical study is called The Flame Unmasked. It is a collection of research papers and is edited, as I said, by Professor Dr. Sudhir Arora. On page 10 in his papers, in this book, there is an article. An article is titled The Speculative Solemnity in Stephen Gill's Flame. This research article is written by Professor Dr. R.C. Shukla, and Dr. R.C. Shukla says, comparing The Flame by that epic, modern epic, with Rabindranath Tagore, who won the Nobel Prize and wrote that wonderful book, the Gitanjeli, for which he got the Nobel Prize. Now, Dr. Shukla compares both the books, my modern epic, The Flame, with Tagore's Gitanjeli. He says, even, that's the view of Dr. Shukla, he said, even the Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore fails to achieve the status of Stephen Gill so far as the use of rich and meaningful imagery is concerned. It is with the help of this imagery and embellished figures of speech that the poet has endeavored to explain his faith in the philosophy of existentialism, greatly threatened by the maniacs. The same philosophy was augmented by Franz Kafka and Albert Camus. Professor Dr. R.C. Shukla, who said in that long research paper, he is author of this research paper and is the former head of Department of English of KGB Postgraduate College in Moradabad, India. He is a bilingual poet and a respectable literary critic and author of several books. There are several more worth quoting comments on my book, The Flame. Considering the time, I will not quote them here at this time. Maybe in the next features, but by next feature 8, I will focus on a question by Dr. Sapna Parihar. The question is about the use of myths, particularly about Indian myths in Stephen Gill's work. I would like to add, Dr. Sapna Parihar has done her PhD on the works of Stephen Gill. Thank you for watching.